cold. Why? I hope someone picks me up. I would love to just sit in the car and not be out. I can be disappointed if I don't get picked up. I don't plan on walking across the damn country. We got a blister. Pets' heads are falling off. Ripped up. It doesn't get any worse if it gets worse like this one. I was super comfortable last night. It was so cold. Normally I'd have my sleeping bag, but because I flew, I don't have my sleeping bag. I would have slept like a rock star last night if I had my sleeping bag. Walk in my pajamas for a while. because it's fucking freezing. At least I get a nice sunrise. Make sure I got everything. I'm always worried I'm gonna lose something. Both my sandals. Okay. Man, like, this is where I stayed. I wasn't gonna crawl through all this stuff because there's all this grass that's like all up in my pajamas and socks, and it's like, oh, I could have gotten on there in those trees over there. I didn't have any trees. I literally had to hook up to the rail. Hey, Miss Jamette, how you doing? I have this, I think they're called squibbies. I bought one from a guy out in Chicago when I was garage sailing. And no, I have two really nice sleeping bags, actually. They're like negative 30-degree sleeping bags, and they're awesome. I get butt naked in 30-degree weather, and I'm happier than a clam. It's not a visual that anyone really wants to have, but I'm super happy with it. I just don't. I'm working with a lot less than what I should be having, but like I said, builds endurance or builds something, I usually get lots of sleep. I don't have children or a wife, so I just get a lot of sleep. So I'm always amazed at what a lot of parents, how little sleep they get with work. I mean, I get at least 8 hours. I usually like 9 or 10. You know, I guess I get the sunrise and I get to walk while it's cool and not the sun burning down on me. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll find a nice person early on today. I had to wait to right when I got my shower last night to find a nice person. 2 nice persons. 2 very kind people. But at least I do like being up early. I do love seeing the sunrise. I do have a blister forming on my ankle, so I'm a little concerned about that. If I don't get picked up on the hitchhike here, it's at least an 8-hour walk to the next town here. And I have a little less than a gallon on this, and then a little water bottle. So I don't think I can make the walk with this blister forming. I mean, I can. I'm going to be a little vagina, I think. Where are you at, Jamette? Are you in Virginia? Are you in Florida? I know you were heading down to Virginia, and that was the last time you were at the beach in Florida, and then you were in, I think you were going to Virginia for some type of thingy. Let's hope and what's Virginia still? Okay. How are you liking Virginia? I'm planning on going to if I ever get home in if I get there soon enough here, I'm going to go to DC and harass what's left of the 1776. Got lots of questions, but I just saw that yesterday I said I was coming to get Oreo, and Oreo, I guess, is leaving now. He's got things to do. Maybe beat his wife, or who knows. He's a piece of shit. So that's who I really wanted to go. Everything is slow as fuck. Well, that's how down south is. Florida, it's slow. I love Anarchy Princess. So yeah, okay, so I saw her. I most definitely disagree with her on some subjects, but I love that she's attacking 1776. So is an enemy, if an enemy is an enemy of the state, and Unicorn Riot, I've been watching Unicorn Riot for I want to say 10 years. They were all like Unicorn Riot, they were filming Occupy protests. So we'll see.
we'll see. I definitely disagree with her on some things, but gosh, I can't imagine anyone agreeing with me on everything because I'm psycho. Not psycho, but I have beliefs that are different than most people. But I was in a cage, so sometimes after you're put into a cage, your mind starts thinking a lot differently. And that checked 5 ohm? Is that 5-chan? I'm not sure what 5 ohm is. Look at that. Oh, I have not checked them, but she has checked them. I gotta climb these hills. I am not looking forward to this. I'm really praying that I get a ride. I probably need to walk these hills, but it's too early. I didn't sleep at all. I just laid in my hammock freezing. I mean, I definitely got some rest. Little keyboard bit finger. Yeah, I got the same issue. My little chunky little hot dog fingers. I'll tell you what though, after being in a cage, to me, again, always with this piece of shit gimbal, I'm ready just to throw it turn itself off. It's a great thing to do, gimbal. To me, right there, I hate being cold too. That's why I'm a van lifer. Like I follow the birds to where it's nice and warm. And it got warm in Austin in March here. I was sweating my ass off. Then I went to Taos for a month, and it was, oh gosh, we were at 8,000 feet, so it was, the weather was beautiful. And then when we were out here in Oregon, it was beautiful too. And I had everything I needed. I had an extra blanket too. This blanket's just not adequate enough. But maybe I just need to change my routine, or maybe I just need to get picked up by somebody. Yeah, my mom, I think me being in jail affected my mom more than it affected me. I know it affected her a lot, and I didn't realize that me taking a stand for my rights could have such an effect on my family, my mom and dad. It really was a very hard time for them. It was a hard time for me, but it was a very hard time for them. And we didn't have, they had to come. She was being searched just to come to the computer to talk to me. Like she wasn't even coming in. She was in a different building at a computer, and they still searched her. So it was a traumatic event for my mom. But after jail, these sunrises and the sunsets are, to me, what freedom's all about. Beauty of whatever you want to call that, creator or God or science, whatever your belief. It's a spectacular thing. I think all religions and creeds I know have a certain respect for the sunrises and sunsets. There was this girl once. I know this girl. I went on she's all into permaculture. She's from Chicago. Oh, look, a little hot. No. I've seen a lot of roadkill, a lot of coyote. I actually asked her boyfriend if it was okay if I went on a nature hike with her, and I ended up meeting. She was staying in the redwoods, and she was amazing. Like I knew all the different permaculture people she was knowing, and she had just hung out with Brad Lanchester, which Brad Lanchester is like this. He's like a hydrologist. He's into water management and everything. And Let me go the inside of this car. He's got some neighborhoods in Tucson that they took out the curbs and they made water sinks and they made little islands for the plants. And he's basically the leading water harvest guy around in the country, Brad Lanchester. And she had just did a little forum with them. And we went hiking, and she was like identifying all the. She's like an herbalist, so I learned a lot from her. And as you travel, like the plants change and everything, but she was staying alone by herself in the redwoods. And I asked her, I said, I said, aren't you scared, being there at night? And she said, the sun always comes up. And that's all I said about in my hammock. I'm like, oh my gosh, the sun always comes up. I'll eventually warm up. So it's some really wise words from somebody. That is beautiful. So I got a free shower last night from a nice lady. Some guy tried to buy me a water. It took all day for someone to be kind. But this is at the perfect moment. I was like exhausted. And yeah, a guy tried to buy me I have this water here. And he tried to buy it. He thought it was from the store. I said, no, it's mine. Thank you. I'm just trying to get a shower. And the lady said that she wanted to pick me up, but her mom didn't want to. Come on. Sometime today. That hill looks so intimidating. There is trees up on the top of this hill, though. The trees have kind of been a little sparse here. So I'm thinking by 10 now. I don't know what time it is. Like 6, maybe 8 or 9. I'll get up there and I'll probably take a nap in the trees, in some bush. I need to get away from the highway. It's really the only route through here right now. Blister's not going to be good. If I had some duct tape or something, I'd duct tape it up. I might have to get some medical tape, but I'm an 8-hour walk to the next town according to Google, so we'll see. I'm going through, I believe it's some type of national forest. So I just hope I have reception. I'm a little worried I'm going to lose reception over there too, which usually happens when you go through the passes. I mean, you'll get them on the outskirts of the passes, up at the high points, at the first lookouts, but once you pass into that, you usually don't get any reception. Maybe someone will pick me up because I'm early today. Oh, there's a a bunch of mist. Hold on, let's see if I can show you that. That looks pretty cool. Right there. That white right there. Alright, now it's gonna be weird. Come on. Come on. You could do it, gimbal. And of course my trigger fell off on this gimbal. Just to add to it. Just to add to the shittiness of it. At least there's some houses along the way. I'm not sure. I really haven't. Have I ever been through this overpass? I have not been through this. This will be my first time going through this pass. I've done a lot of the passes south of here. This guy's working already. You catch the sunrise. How many kiddos do you got, Jamet, if you're still here? I'm not sure if you told me that. How to get Wi-Fi and coffee. Are you on like a friend's property? You boondocking? You in a campground? A KOA? What you doing? So I stopped drinking soda. When I went to Taos, my friend was giving me a hard time, which was good. And so I'm done with the soda. And the coffee, I'm not addicted to coffee, I'm addicted to the sugar that I put into the coffee and the creamer. And since this kind of all started, I haven't drinking any coffee. And I'm going to continue on not drinking coffee. As much as I love coffee, it's destroying my teeth. Oh, yes! All right, Jeanette. I am, that sounds beautiful, and I'll let you know, I might be cruising with Freedom Squirrel and Red Squirrel, her husband. You have a letter for Santa. Oh my God, yes, okay. I'll make sure. We'll have a little mini convoy there. The anti-convoy convoy. Oh, actually it's not a convoy, it's a movement. It's hashtag hold the lawn. Hashtag hold the lawn. And that was actually stolen from Freedom Squirrel. Joe says fuck the patriarchy. I love it. I love it. You're my tribe, Jamet. I'm glad I met you. I think I met you originally in Indiana. And then in Florida again. I would never think I met so many people like I did this year, but my God, I met a lot of amazing, cool people. From all different walks of life, too. There are literally thousands of bungee straps. That's probably the litter that I've seen the most here on the road. Here comes the sun. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm hoping I get to DC. I'm hoping I get a couple rides so that I could head my ass there this week. Thanks, Ed. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in. I do like the sunrises and the sunsets. Those are kind of my thing after jail. And if anyone doesn't know, I went to jail because I grew a plant that's considered a medical thing that helps 20 different diseases in my state. And you're a businessman if you're doing it now. But I was kind of ahead of the curve, and I live streamed my court case, so that's a big no-no. And I just remember sharing the cell with the one guy. He had blown his friend away, found her cheating, and was on Xanax and mutilated the body with the shotgun. And the other guy, this black dude, stabbed his wife 30 times. I was in a cell with them naturally because I grew a plant and I questioned the authority of the court, and I filmed it while I was questioning the authority of the court. So that's what happens when you do that. I did not know that. I know that now. I just remember telling the guy who killed his friend with the shotgun, I was like, man, like, I'm the security threat. I'll be the last one in. He's like, no way, man. I killed my friend. And when that bailiff came and grabbed him first, he looked at me and said, what did you do? I said, I grew a plant. And that day he blind pleaded to murder, first-degree murder. And was facing 45 or 50 years to life. And I was in the cell with him when he pled out to it. And he was remorseful. He was on Xanax. He doesn't remember it. I'm not justifying or saying that it was right what he did. But the other guy in the cell denied it tooth and nail, and I could tell just by his mannerisms that he was guilty as hell, and he most definitely killed his wife. But that guy, I remember him coming back into the cell after that, and he said, man, I had the weirdest smell. I've never smelled this odor. I'll never forget that. Like, I mean, I just watched a guy blindly plead to a judge his whole life. He was young. He was only like 19, 18. He was young. I felt bad for him. I really did. It's hard not to feel bad for some people in there. I mean, he murdered somebody, and that's awful. And I still had compassion for him, even though he killed somebody. And maybe that's not the right thing to do, but I don't know. In jail, man, you don't have much to work with. Compassion can go a long way. And my other cellmate, he said that people get lost behind these walls. He said my people, referring to black people. And so yeah, there's just some real hard life lessons I learned in jail that I'm very grateful that I went to jail because of because of what I went through. Yeah, I was kind of a wimp. If you asked Jeanette, she would say I'm a wimp now, the way I left the convoy. But I was more of a wimp before. Yeah, no, I mean, most of those people in jail, what's interesting, most of the federal inmates, because I was locked up, because I was considered a domestic terrorist, I was locked up with all federal inmates, which no, it's about having compassion, but not being blind and ignorant to the fact that there's some really, really, really awful people. And to be able to do that is a powerful thing. Your brother did Fed time, Jeanette? Yeah, and the Fed time, it's longer. It's 80%. They serve most of their time they were given. And They do have a lot more access. They have personal touches and computer access. And Honolulu Country Club. Okay. Yeah, like the guys when in my jail was pretty much made for people to cop out. It didn't matter if you were innocent or guilty. They wanted commercial growing. Yeah, that's god awful. The county jail, I didn't go outside at all. 118 days I didn't step outside. The lights were never turned off the whole time I was there. I don't know if you've ever slept with lights on, but it'll make you go crazy pretty quick. But you'll start saying you're guilty of anything they tell you you're guilty of. But guys would get excited to go to prison, to state prison, and get out of county because of how they had it. And what's so awful is that most of those guys are pre-trial. They hadn't even been convicted. So even if they ordered techniques, I'm not sure what that last comment means. Ordered techniques. Yeah, so I don't know, jail. I'm glad jail was the most awful experience ever, but at the same time, I had to go through it to break out of my little caterpillar shell and turn into a little butterfly, a little chunky butterfly. And it's, yes, I did criminal defense, and too many took plea bargains to get out of the county. Oh, Jamette, you were a lawyer, like a paralegal or something? No, you're full of all sorts of little surprises, aren't you? No, people plea out, man. You plea out. I pled out. Oh, torture techniques. Yes, absolutely. And now I get what you're saying. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna go, guys. I gotta ride. All right, I love you, Jamette. I'm out.